Hey everybody, this is Brian here. Unfortunately, I'm coming to you with sad news that I actually had a really bad seizure earlier and I wounded my tongue up pretty bad. So today I'm actually coming to you with some news that I hope will help you. The content of this video is the top 11 things that you can do um, in lieu of a seizure, after one, or to be more careful of the ones that are coming in the future, since they are almost an inevitability unless your medicine actually works, unlike mine. Anyways, number one on here is going to be to sleep toward the middle or the wall end of your bed. If your bed is just kind of out there in the middle of your room like a boat on the open ocean, then I guess this one doesn't really apply to you. Um, but I actually fell off of my bed and nearly injured myself. I actually nearly broke my arm falling off my bed onto my elbow. Um, it's only due to my game breaker hat, which I'm wearing um, due to the topic of this video. It's only due to this hat actually that I didn't get a. Or something. So sleep towards the further end of your bed, away from the side where you could just roll off of in the middle of your sleep. Because for me, I personally have a lot of seizures while I'm asleep. Between like the hours of like 4 and 8 o'clock. That's my danger zone, to quote Randy Savage. Um, so yeah, if your bed is kind of out there in the middle of your room, if you don't want to push it towards the wall side, um, sleep in the middle. Or if you do actually have your bed towards the wall side like I do, then actually I would recommend rolling over there so you don't roll off the other end. Um, but anyways, yeah, let me just check the timer. And yeah, we're doing good. Okay, so the other thing is, if you bite your tongue like I do during a convulsive seizure, then try to eat soft foods such as applesauce or pudding or instant breakfast like Boost or Carnation. Be careful of foods or substances that can burn your injured mouth. I tried using Listerine earlier because I didn't want to brush my teeth all the way when my mouth was so fucked up. And it burned really bad. So yeah, I would avoid eating anything spicy, anything if you're a little older and you drink. I don't, but if you do, avoid anything with alcohol or um, with spicy substances in it. Just be careful and try to eat soft foods. Um, Anyways, number three on here, the next tip is about recovery. When you have a seizure, it usually takes a few days to recover fully. For example, I often fall out of playing guitar, out of practice, for a week or so. So don't let a break turn into going off the rails in terms of your hobbies. If you are someone who does art, my best friend from high school, he's still my best friend. He's a really, really talented artist, and I enjoy playing guitar, as you can see by some of the covers on my channel. So, don't let 3 days turn into several weeks. When I've been really bad, such as when I broke my finger, you can actually see that splint in a couple of my videos, my older videos. Um, but yeah, don't let your out of practiceness, that's not really a word, but don't let how much you're out of practice balloon outwards. It's really easy when you're feeling foggy and you're in bed for a long time, you're lethargic. um, I'm just saying, basically, don't go off the rails with practicing your favorite hobbies or your responsibilities either. If you have children or if you have work, don't let a seizure essentially be the impetus to you um, letting your life fall apart, because it doesn't have to be. It can be very easily, but it doesn't have to be. Anyways, whether your hobbies are art or athletics or working out or something, one of my best buds from church actually is like a bodybuilder. So regardless of what your hobbies are, I'm just saying, after you've after you've healed a basic amount and you take that full couple of days to recover, I would just say don't let 3 days become 2 weeks, you know, because I've done that before in the 3 years that I've had epilepsy, going on four now. And I'm just saying it's really easy to fall out of practice, or to fall away from the things that you normally love. So I'm just saying don't let that happen because it's real easy for it to. Um, Number four on here, be warned that the muscle tenseness and the pains from the seizure, they're usually worse the next day. I mean, if you have epilepsy and you're watching this, you probably know that. But if you're someone who's just coming into this illness, you've just been diagnosed, or if you're someone who's watching kind of from the outside in order to do research for a family member who just got sick, there's very, very many different ways to study the mysterious disease that is epilepsy. You know, I'm just telling you, like, if you're coming at this from the outside, someone who's looking to help, maybe you're a caretaker, or maybe you're looking to help your kids, you know, I'm just saying beware that that shit's usually worse the next day. um, Another uh, tip I have is to come up with some hobbies that aren't going to make you feel drained or worn out. You know, for me, I have chronic fatigue syndrome, so I would recommend something like a video game or binge watching a show on Netflix. Create a really extensive playlist on YouTube, like musically, you know, or of comedy clips or something like that, you know. Anyways, I think I met this guy one time uh, that it worked for, you know, creating a YouTube channel. Me. Anyways, sorry, that's kind of douchey. Anyways, the point is to take it easy on yourself while you're sick and while you're recovering. The next two things on here are things that we've actually talked about in the past on this channel, and they're actually safety tips. One of them is actually this thing here. It's the Empatica, um, or sorry, the Embrace watch made by a company called Empatica. I got their names crossed up because they both start with E. Anyways, it served me really well in terms of going off when a seizure happens. Previously, I reviewed it several months ago, and if you want to see my thoughts, you can scroll down a little bit on my channel in terms of epilepsy watch review. Um, but yeah, I think that it's worked very well. It's been very reliable. I think there's been only one time where I actually had a seizure that it didn't go off. The one thing that I do want to tell you about, so if you look into this device and you're just not surprised by all the things I'm telling you, uh, this device actually, it has a monthly fee. I think it's about $20 a month. Um, they just kind of auto take it out of your bank account if you like subscribe um, to their product. But it really is worth it if you have like an incurable form of epilepsy like I do. Mine is resistant to like all sorts of medications. But I'm just saying, if you really need something to alert the people around you, if assuming you don't live alone, um, assuming you have a caretaker or you live with your parents still, I think that this is really helpful in terms of going off when a seizure happens. And again, I reviewed it several months ago if you want to know my thoughts in more depth. Let me just check the timer one last time. Okay. Number six is to protect your head extremely carefully. That's why I'm wearing this hat, this helmet, to signify that, you know, because this hat actually protected me from getting a really bad head injury this morning, and I didn't get one at all because it protected me from hitting my head on a wooden floor, you know. So this is if you haven't seen my old review, this is called the Game Breaker hat. It was initially intended for sports, but I found that it works really well for me as a young man with a disability. So again, if you want to know, similarly to number five on this list, if you want to know my thoughts in more detail on that, I think I gave it like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. It's one of the best products I've reviewed on this channel, and yeah, it's kind of a soft shell helmet. But yeah, I would really recommend if you're looking at me and you want to see what this thing looks like in more detail. Um, I'll take it off for a second so you can kind of see the inside. The back laces up. Um, Anyways, yeah, I would definitely recommend you check out that product. And if you're apprehensive because it has a label of a helmet and you don't want to look weird or something like that, um, I would really say think about your safety. Think about what your priorities are, and make those more important. Make your safety more important than looking cool to other people. You know, yes, this is a helmet. It looks a little bit like a turtle shell. It's a little funny looking, but I would say don't stop that from don't stop that from letting you get the hat. You know, I was initially apprehensive because I thought this hat looked kind of stupid, but these soft shell helmets, they're really really impressive, and I've tried three or four um, different epilepsy protection gear for the head, and I think this is the most impressive one. So yeah, again, props to Game Breaker. Check out my old review, and I think even though it's intended as a sports hat, another thing, you can get a shoelace to replace this if this tie along the back end of the hat breaks for any reason because it's just a string. I would say that you can untie this and retie it tighter, and also you can get a new like a set of strings or a new shoelace or something is what I used, just to replace it if it breaks at all. You know, because um, nothing's intended to last forever. Anyways, number 7 on here is I just wanted to start by saying that I love you all so much, infinitely, just because you're you. And if any of you actually have to deal with these things, I'm so sorry, and I hope that any of these bits of advice can help. So that's just what I wanted to say before we enter into number 7. Number 7 is going to be several things that you should probably avoid when having auras or when you find yourself in like a pre-seizure mode. Hot stove surfaces is an obvious one. So, uh, because if you fell, obviously you're going to face plant and sustain severe burns. You know, um, carpet your house. I would say carpet the tile in your house because that's going to keep you from sustaining as serious of head injuries. Because remember, wherever you're standing or wherever you are is where you fall from. And in 6 months, I've fractured a finger. I've only sustained a severe head injury due to the skin of my teeth or I guess, the fabric of my helmet. Anyways, um, but yeah, things such as carpeting your tile floors or wooden floors, I would say is a really really intelligent move. Um, I would say uh, I would say pad over things such as countertops. When I had my first seizure, here's a story. I don't know if I've ever told you guys. When I had my first seizure in June 2016, I was doing the dishes and I just kind of I blacked out a little bit, and I think I hit my head on the countertop, and then I woke up in an ambulance. So pad the countertops in your house so you don't end up like I did. You don't want to, again, you know, it's just because wherever you are is where you fall from. Whether that be rolling out of bed, I've done that several times. Just, you know, make your floor safe if in case you fall on it, and make your body protected in case you landed in an unideal position. Number 9 on here. Sorry, number 8. Um, if you have to wear a helmet like I do, don't let other people who are ignorant bring you down. This is kind of more of a emotional or a self-esteem thing. I know it's hard to live with chronic illness or disability. I'm on disability, and if someone puts you down like a bully or a jock or a lesser being, that's their problem. That's their disability as a human being and not yours. So don't feel bad about yourself just because you have to wear something that looks a little bit weird. I mean, going out in the world, I think if you go out in the world with something like this on your head, I think that makes you a stronger and more heroic person. Feel proud of yourself for enduring and making it through severe and dangerous medical incidents. You know, if you have epilepsy or some other neurological disease like I do, you know, because I've had over 185 seizures in the last 3 or 4 years, and you know, like Lou Gehrig said, I'm paraphrasing. Today I consider myself the luckiest man on earth, you know, and that's because I'm fortunate to be with you all today. Have pride, my friends, because you really deserve to. All of you deserve to, and don't let other people bring you down because they're lesser humans, you know. Don't let them put you down for having a helmet or something like that, or for if you have eyes that are a little bit cross-eyed or something, you know. Don't let small things like that end up defining you, because you can still be a good person. You can still accomplish amazing things. Look at look at look at what all the people over the course of time have done that were am I thinking of the right name? Stephen Hawking's. Yeah, Stephen Hawking's. I mean, imagine all the things he did from a wheelchair. I'm just saying, don't let people, don't let people wear you down when honestly it's their disability and not yours. Um, so don't view yourself as less for a sickness. It's not your fault, in my opinion. And again, it actually makes you stronger. Number nine is to take the time when you're feeling better mentally to look out for things that might cause an accident, such as tripping hazards. Things like cords hanging out across walkways. If you live in a cold climate, things like icy staircases or porches. If you have pets, things like underfoot dogs or cats. If you were just cleaning up or someone else in your house was, look for water on the ground that might be hard to see if the lights are off, because it might make you slip. Anyways, yeah, that's one of the briefer entries on this list. Let me just check the time again. Okay, cool. We're still doing well. Number 10 on here is going to be diet and health related. I think diet and health are important to maintain when you feel foggy and possibly lethargic in bed for a considerable amount of time. You know, when you're feeling like the seizure bit you like a vampire and you're just kind of getting catatonic or something. Make sure that you don't get dehydrated or malnourished. Get up and get a drink of water now and then. I know it's hard and your body's tired, but what's happened to me in the past when I didn't do that is that I spent too much time laying down and I didn't bother to take my vitamins or get a drink. And I ended up feeling worse because of it. So remember to always drink your water, or else it probably will only end up making your condition worse and your recovery slower. Lastly, is another dietary tip is to cut your bad carbs down and to try drinking apple cider vinegar. When I had started drinking several glasses of apple cider vinegar a day, and when I had replaced the white flour and cane sugar and white rice in my diet with things like whole grains and fruits and produce, and um, my seizures went from between the gap of 6 to 9 a month, which is a lot, down to 2 to 4, which is pretty impressive for over a month long span, at least for me. Uh, so I think that since carbs are turned into sugar by the body, and things such as soda and processed foods cause sugar spikes in your blood, I this is my personal experience and my own personal opinion. So don't take it as a doctor's word, but I think that it juices the brain with energy rushes, and I think that it furthers the disruption of brain waves that are present in epilepsy. Apple cider vinegar, the other thing that I mentioned, also helped me to widen my seizure gap. When I stopped drinking apple cider vinegar because of its bitterness and poor taste, my seizures actually became more frequent again, and I'm really considering trying to start drinking it again because I feel like I'm actually having several a week again instead of several a month. So try it, give it an honest try for a week, even if it tastes like, well, vinegar. I mean, that's not a pleasant tasting thing. Even if it's bitter, give it an honest taste. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching this video on the top 11 things that you could do in lieu of a seizure or to protect yourself before one. Thank you guys for watching. I just had one earlier this morning and I still feel kind of shaken up. That's why I was a little bit wanting to make this video. Um, yeah, I just hope that anybody who has to deal with the same crap I do on a daily or weekly basis, I hope that any of these single tips helps you in any way. Anyways, my friends, I love you and I hope that you have a good rest of your day and peace out.